Hey gang, welcome back. It is I, DrBossKey, and today I thought we would work through doing some updates for our intro cutscene for the game Interstellar Sentinel. I want to hop on over to this. It's going to be more of a chill devlog stream, I think. I'm pushing the buttons. All right. Yeah, okie dokie. I was trying to do these live. Sometimes they're tough to do live because they're fun, but then we get way off topic. So. All right, so first off, we need to go over to the cutscene level. All right. Don't need to save that. We need to make any changes. Also don't need this. Turn that off. All right. What is it? This. I've been experimenting with this on-screen drawing program called. Pink purple, called Purple People Eater. It's called Paper Ink, I think. Let me see here if I got this thing running. PP Ink, open source, pretty fun, good stuff. But I don't like having an icon showing up on screen there. So, all right. So why don't we hop on over? Got a meeting tomorrow with our artist to do our sync up, and let's get this round of assets. So, I got some updates from today, but I've been meaning to try to get to this for the last couple days, and it's been tough. All right. Pardon me. I just had some pizza with a little bit of ranch, and it's a little thick in my throat, apparently. All right, let's see here. So today's update, we had, but this was from the 9th. Yeah, okay. Cool. Let me just double check. So I think I already downloaded these assets. Yeah, so version 4.4. I was really trying to get to this, but things happen. So we'll just double check. That's why it's always very important when you're working on your art assets. Especially when you need to do versioning, that you have a mechanism for that. So for instance, hi Kitty, hi sweetie, you can hang out with me. Miss Kitty says hello. Lay down. Okay. So for instance, we always have an enumeration point at the tail end of the file. For the most part, sometimes we break our own file naming conventions, but it gives us a chance to iterate through. So we don't do this on the engine side always, because you'd have to update assets each time. And we just replace assets that are on the engine. So okay, cool. So it is version 4. It is cockpit 1. Okay, so in that case, I think we're good to go here. Here, let me just take a quick look. So we're taking a look at Larkin in Larkin's sort of phantom form, and so our artist has been trying to interpret kind of what that would look like. So because the thing is you're talking to, like, DrBossKey's having a conversation with Larkin, his living lab cloak entity, and you could just take the camera and kind of shove it into the chest area, but I wanted to sort of suggest that there is more there, and I think it's a mix of these two. I like these two quite a bit. So probably with this a little bit more with the blending of the lab cloak, and then this with a little bit more having the covering of the face. So still having that projection of DBK. So that's gonna be cool. We're gonna talk about that tomorrow. I'm excited about that. Yes. Oh, yeah. I also kind of like what he's got going on here. So good thinking there. Okay. But that's going to be the sweet fun stuff for us to take a look at after we get done doing these updates. All right. So let's get. Okay, I think it's those 3 there. So CS intro serves Mountain Island 1. Let me double check. So 4, 4, 4, 4, think we have the updated cockpit, so let me take a look here. Kitty, you're in the way. Maybe I'll turn up the music just a tiny bit. Tiny, tiny bit. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Let's see here. Temp art time. Set over there. Probably should be over here, so remember that. All right, Q. So CS intro, cockpit 1. So cockpit 0 was the one there, so we do have cockpit 1. All right. I think we already got CS Beach, cutscene beach intro. Save as. CS intro beach. CS intro. Maybe not. Okay. I got to take a look at how that maps. I know we have it in there. Oh, and then we have this cool. Yeah, I want to do this neat thing with the waves. I'm not quite sure I'm going to put it in, but we're going to figure that out. All right, Q. We got those assets. Okay, boom. Got the glows and the island. There. Let's go over to our main directory. All right. Let's see. Kitty, you're really just in the way. Gotta lay down. I gotta be able to type. I know it's tough. Okay, so we're in the Master Art Assets folder, and I think we're up one layer because we're grouping our cutscenes as a different set of assets. So we got the opening cutscene here. Yeah, this folder's starting to get a little chunky. Paste the assets in here, and let's sort by date modified. I think that works. Yeah, okay, cool. All right, and then use over here. Don't need the temp art anymore. Okay, now we're on the engine side. Let's open up our asset directory. Come over to sprites. Okay, so one of the things we did with the cutscene, because we added some fading, I think I could have done it differently, but that's the thing, is you can always do things differently. You know, but it's important to remember how you did them, at least for that version. Otherwise, you just keep redoing stuff all the time. So we did the main Hall of Whispers backgrounds. We did them in as particles, I believe. Assets, particles. Yeah, there it is. CS intro Hall of Whispers. And let's take a look here. I think I have some layering turn. Okay, so all our layers are enabled. That's good. Let's just hit the run button to see where we're at.
Instance 237 is out of balance and needs your attention, DrBossKey. Please follow up on the investigation before the singularity branching corruption occurs.
Okay. Let me double check, because I feel like I might have adjusted these. So got the effects particle system here for that. Let's take a look at the transform. It should be at 0, 0, 0. It is. All right, cool. And so that means back over here. Okay. Let's take our particles. Take our source files. All right. All right, what I usually do is in the engine side, I usually make one previous copy just in case something goes wrong or I want to switch back and forth and check. And so I usually just do that by adding a P1 whenever we're updating those assets. So we got also the glow here. It's also because the file names need to match. So then we'll take these two guys, drop them in here. Then we're going to remove the version. Oh, still needs to be glow. And it is _glow. All right, cool. I think that does it. All right. Convert the assets on the engine side. Kitty really wanted some lap time. Hope everyone's doing well out there tonight. Our project is getting chonky and big. Oh, I also didn't check the resolution. I bet you we're at 2x resolution right now too. So, because we always work at double resolution, just in case we ever want to up res. Aside from AI scaling, there's some other things, but for the most part, yeah. So we're at 2560. For the most part, it's you get more artifacts when you scale up. You get less artifacts when you scale down. It's always just a good rule of thumb to keep in mind. Better to work at higher resolution and to scale down than the other way around. Always keeping in mind your target resolution for your game. How big things are actually on screen. Okay, so let's see. So that's master art assets. Because I know I'll forget to do this. I'm doing it now. Hollow Glow Whispers. Hollow Whispers. All right, cool. Just turn these to 1920 by 1080. That's the target resolution we have for the game anyways. You can have a higher resolution render for the game. But for the most part, like you have to, like as much as I'd like to work in 4K and all of that, like it's expensive and it's you get fidelity and a lot out of it, but it also costs more memory and there's lots of other things too. So just food for thought when you're thinking about your own games. It's hard being a kitty. Okay, so this should be the assets. Let's take a look.
Instance 237 is out of balance and needs your attention, DrBossKey. Please follow up on the investigation before the singularity branching corruption occurs.
Okay, let's watch this again. There's a couple things are happening here.
Instance 237 is out of balance and needs your attention, DrBossKey. Please follow up on the investigation before the singularity branching corruption occurs.
I don't know, it's bugging me a little bit that the particle effects that we're using for DrBossKey, I think that's this one here. Let's see. No, that's the scroller. All right, so we don't want to change that. I think this is the one here. So DrBossKey back pose. All right, cool. So a couple things that are happening. One is we have the darker version of the Hollow Whispers at the beginning here. And there in the sky, we use a post effect in the engine, sort of like Alara, the higher energy state being. She's speaking to DBK in the Hollow Whispers. And then in the Hollow Whispers, we have essentially each one of these doorways is a doorway to other worlds. And so this is in part how DrBossKey gets around through the different parts of the universe. He can still fly a ship and do other things, but this is kind of like a hub. And then as DrBossKey is transitioning and Alara gives her message, we bring up the brightness, sort of like Alara's, oversight of this like a mystical hall, right? The Hall of Whispers, and we bring that up to kind of subtly communicate that she's helping him with his journey. So kind of powering the hall, if you will. All kinds of little subtext, and we're going to turn off the music for now. Okay. All right.
Instance 237 is out of balance and needs your attention, DrBossKey. Please follow up on the investigation before the singularity branching corruption occurs.
Okay. So I want to move. I think I want to move the final back pose over a little bit. I think our art shifted just a tiny bit, so we're going to make a tweak here. To push it a little bit further, make it a little bit more on center, hopefully.
Instance
with the
237 is out of balance and needs your attention, DrBossKey. Please follow up on the investigation before the singularity branching corruption occurs.
And you know what? Where I moved that to, that wasn't quite right. I think the one we wanted is this one here. Because this is a scale 2, it's a smaller scale. Yeah. It's kind of a...
Instance 237 is out of balance.
I don't need to hear the audio all the time. Yeah, so part of what we're doing here is what I'm kind of conveying is, you know, we only have so many frames of animation, and sometimes just having motion is quite useful. So we're just using the particle system here to kind of give DrBossKey kind of a shimmering effect while he's standing. Again, because we're not animating all the frames, so it kind of gives us a little bit, kind of helps us kind of develop a style around it. Yeah, okay, cool. So that's actually looking better. I'm just adjusting the third frame of DrBossKey being in the background. Yeah, okay, cool. Awesome. All right, so that gives us the updates there. I like that. I think we're good to go. I want to flip back over. I think we're done with those images, so start our blog here. Let's see here. Hall whispers. Toosh, toosh, toosh. Let's ship it. All right. And those are always the fun messages to write. Okay. Now, what was next? Now that we got the Hollow Whispers together, we also... Okay, so we have the update to the cockpit. All right. And with the cockpit shot, the previous version, and here, actually, let's just set this up real quick. All right. Okay. With the... Okay, so 1 second here. So we have a little bit of a cheater helper here because I don't want to watch... The cutscene's about 3 minutes. I don't want to watch a minute just to make an iteration and a change. So we broke the cutscenes. I set it up to where the cutscenes are set up in different sections. So that's kind of what the script is here. So I can at least shortcut to those sections. So that's a trigger that basically starts when viewed. Man, there's something wrong with this asset. This is not the first time I've seen this happen. It's really bugging me. And this is just... There's something with sprite lighting, I think. I'm not sure exactly. But I do know that if I go to game setting... Is it post-processing? I wonder if that does it. Nope. Grid snap. It's not sound. Where is this? Is it level settings? Level properties. Yeah, here we go. Level properties, we take a look. So sprite lighting. So we can enable lighting. Yeah, so something's weird with that because when I enable it and then I disable it, it works again. I gotta... the thing is I've done a lot of development in the engine, so I could have some broken assets or something. It's hard to say, but all right. So, anyways, I got fixed there. So, so here's what we do: is we start, and then we come down here. We have a little note for ourselves for scene 2. We unhook the scene 1 to scene 2 transition. We have a trigger here that is just when viewed by camera. Do a little save there, and this should start us in scene 2. Yeah, we start with the intro shot. And then here's what we're looking at here. So we're looking at the cockpit shot. So, and here we just use a large image. I'm gonna temporarily come over to Photoshop, close these guys. Just do it old school. All right, now that we got that, come back to our asset folder. Then we're gonna take CS intro cockpit 1. It is not a particle, so we just because we didn't need to do any fades or anything that we would have normally got out of the particle system, and so we just used an enemy type for this texture. So models, enemies, sprites. All right, cool, and it's CS intro cockpits. little P1 for that. And bring this over. Same thing, we work at XX resolution. So I'm just gonna go and take that down. No sense having bigger resolution than what's actually on screen. Save that out. I really like the gradient for kind of the screen. So it's fun. It's fun how you can get little subtle shots out of things with just a little bit. All right, so that's saved now. Doing an asset update. Working on some new prototype projects, and so they're clean, empty, small projects. I mean, the export from all the game data, we're getting up to almost a gig. So it takes a while to iterate through all those assets after 2 years of development. And in the prototype projects, the conversions just go like, boom, they're just so quick because I got like 4 or 5 enemies in there, very few particles, all the good stuff. All right, so this should be the new cockpit shot. Okay, so that means we did something wrong. What did we do wrong? Oh, that's what we did wrong. We forgot to remove the number for the iteration that we're on. It's nice and handy in the engine that if you switch out one of your sprites, your textures, your images, that it doesn't get removed from the reference to it doesn't get removed from the engine. And then you get that little square or that little square with the question mark that can help you at least restore your texture. Oh yeah, this definitely is looking better. Okay, so boop. Let me see. Pause this real quick. I want to get a full screenshot. It's coming along. It's coming along nicely. Yeah, I like the gradient is really nice here. Like, look at that. Oh, so good. And then a little bit, I think we could probably be a bit bluer up at the top, but here, I guess it's the glow from the instrumentation panel. So I'm okay with that. But at least I think I'm okay with that. Let's find out. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm probably going to give feedback. Okay, so, and let's see, we took a... All right, so. So the feedback last time, so here's the previous version, and here's the new version. So you can definitely see we've got a little bit more of the blue. I feel like we really should have up here at the top, yeah, instead of having a black gradient, I think we should go with blue. Because it makes me feel more like a screen. Okay, but I feel like the screen has more presence, which is good. All right, let's see here. Come back to this, and we got let's see here, cockpit shot. Oh yeah. All right. Let's change the gradient color at the top to blue instead of black. Black to convey that screen texture and into your cockpit lighting. All right. I think it's probably fine. I don't really need to do a mock-up for any of that. Okay. But overall, that's good. All right, so what's next? Okay, opening cutscene. Jeez, Kitty. Kitty's like stretching, pushing all her paws against my tummy. All right, so. Okay, so then we have the beach, the intro beach shot. Actually, I want to take a look at this before and after too. so that's the previous version. Oh, I think that's against my version. All right, so let me go back. Let's go to the engine and take a look. Okay, getting a little confused. Take a look. All right. Let's view large icons. CS. All right. CS intro beach. All right. Coo. Oh, yeah. Okay. This is just my temporary version, but I want to compare the differences. So. Oh yeah, we got more texture, the lighting. Oh, now I'm confused again. So, got the enemy sprites. Yes. Okay, so the previous version is the brighter version, which we're looking at, and then we have the more moody version with the clouds. Yeah. A little bit more of that texture on the mountain itself. Okay, so let's flip back over to that version. All right, what do we got? Oh yeah, that's for the water. Okay. So that's the first version that he delivered. So let's come on over here. Do the same thing. We have a P1. And eventually I can go through and look at all the underscore previous versions with what the P stands for. And then I can essentially just clean all those out of the project, because there's no reason to have textures that aren't used in the project. So speaking of which, yeah. Do that. Okay. So I think this is it. And the cool part is we'll see the big texture in the background for scene 2 change on the update. At least I think so. Find out. Did I do that right? I don't think I did that right. Needed sprites. See his intro beach. No, that is correct. Oh, okay, yeah, I got it. It's for the scene later. I always get that. I'm getting this shot confused with the other shot. So, okay, so P1 0 can go again. That's totally fine. Okay, let me see. Did I get an updated version from him? Sometimes it's hard keeping all your assets straight. Okay. So intro beach. So we had the update here. That shot. Then I think this is the one here. Yes. Okay. Okay, let's watch the cutscene real quick. Just to make sure I got it straight in my mind. And so the beach shot comes after this. Yeah, okay. And I got this, we want to do this trick for both the fog and the waves. Okay. Okay, cool. And that is, so we've got that. Then I need to take the new asset, which is the water. And I need to bring this over. Okay. So how do I want to do this? I think I can just do it as an enemy. Oh, no, no, no. I can't do it as an enemy because I need it to fade in and out. If I do it as a text object, or if I do it as a text gameplay, or if I do it as an image display with a fade, pretty sure that sorts on top of everything else. So I have to do it. I have to do the same thing where I have to set it up as a particle, because particles I can set the Z depth in the scene for. All right. Now that we know how we're going to do it, let's come to the particles. See this intro beach. Water. Let's give a little bit of feedback to Dimitri. Let's see here. File naming. Let's change file names to always have the version number at the end. E should be, because making modifications to file names in the middle, not as fun. What was this? 0. All right, cool. There we go. That there. Quick note. Working together. All right. So now we're back into the particle system. We know that we're 2x the resolution, so we're going to fix. Oh, it is. Okay, so this is actually 1920 by 1080. Okay. Interesting. Don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need these. Okay. Over to the engine. Let's get the image conversion updated. I mean, these are big 1080p textures, right? So it takes a little bit to chunk through these. I could probably make them a little bit smaller and then scale them up, but then you get scaling artifacts. Things would be fuzzier on the engine side too. All right, so let's go over here. Go to the particle system. And you know, we already have kind of a base setup. Light rays. We basically, because we use the trick for the Hollow Whispers Glow, we'll just make a copy of that first. Duplicate the particle system. I'm gonna make this CS. What did we say this was? CS intro beach water. All right. So I got that now. Come on over to this. This is intro beach water. Patoonch. Let's do one of these bad boys. All right, so it's got a fade up. And we're gonna be a little different here because we want it to fade in and out to give you a little bit. We're trying to kind of do like a poor man's version of wave animation. So, I think we can probably just handle that with particle life. How long is this life here? So 4 seconds. Let's try 2 seconds. And let's work on the other bits. All right, so in this case, okay. So a copy of this effects. Change the particle to the new particle system we just made. Intro beach water. We're gonna set this at 0, position. Makes it easier. And we're just gonna take a quick look. Let's just see how bad this gets. So there it is. That's good. All full screen. We'll ignore that for a second. And I think it should restart, but we'll find out. And it doesn't restart, so let's see. Just go back into the particle system. And we'll come over here. So it's set at constant. We can set it to infinite for now. Repeat delay, we'll set at 2. And technically, maybe we'll set it at 4 because we want it to be every 2. Mission rate we'll just set to 1 at a time. Max particles we'll set to 1 at a time. And let's give that a test. Again, we're ignoring that for a second. This is just, okay. Okay. I don't know if I can actually do a fade out for the... I don't think I have a fade in and a fade out. We'll see. Maybe I do. I gotta look and see what I can do. There we go. Now this is the stuff here. Okay. All right. So you can kind of see what we're going for here. All right. Let me see. Is there... Can I get closer to that spot? Turn this off. Do I have another section? I think I have another section here. Yeah, scene 3. All right. Okay, let's reconnect this before we forget, because that's the transition from scene 1 to scene 2. And all right, scene 3. Do the same thing where we, when the camera is seen, show this. All right, let's take a look. All right, cool. All right, let's see about getting this in the right layer too. Where'd we put that? It's the front pose. Here. Intro beach water. All right, yes. Let's take a look at where it's at layer wise. Okay, so it's set pretty much at the top layer. And we'll worry about that in a few minutes. Let's see. So what do I have here? I have, this is the beach image. Okay, so, which is the Srivas Mountain Pan. Is that right? No, the beach is what we want, right? kind of tuck things into different layers in order to be able to turn them on and off, because we need to be able to control what renders on top of what. Okay. Okay, so I think we're gonna add it's a particle. Okay, well, we're not gonna worry about that for the moment. Let's come back here and see about the aesthetics. All right, so one of the problems we have is with the current implementation, the particle fades in, which is great, but then it pops out when it dies. So I bet you we don't have good control over that, but we'll see. Okay. So here we have, okay, we have color over life. Oops, not that. All right. So we start from 0. Yeah, and we end at 0. Yeah, that's a real problem, huh? I don't know if I have a good solve for this. Because in the particle system, you can only go one way before the particle dies. And as in, you can only go from 0 to opaque, or from opaque to 0. Or transparent, I should say. Yeah, for color over life, for fading. Check to look if you don't want to change the color during its life. Yeah, but I do. Yeah, let's just take a quick look. Okay, so we're at 0 on both sides, I'm pretty sure. So even if I preview this, right? So the problem is, you can see. So here's kind of a half fade. Maybe that might be a thing. Let's try a half fade. No, it needs to be full. Let's take a look how it might work if we start from fully opaque, and then we fade out. So I like the effect. I mean, it feels really good in how the wave shifts. Like if you take a look at where the wave is here, I like that feeling. I think there's something cool there. But again, the problem I'm running into is that I don't have a good way particle system wise to fade in and then fade out. I do with the with this text object. So we're gonna challenge one of our assumptions. I'm pretty sure I've got this, but basically with the text object, you can feed it a picture, which means I need to do a temporary thing on the assets. Because the engine only looks at pictures for the text objects. So we can't have assets named the same. So recall pick, switch back over. I can email the developer, or I can Discord message the developer and see how difficult it would be to be able to get a particle in and a particle out lifetime fade. But that's not what we're here. All right, so picture CS intro beach water. Here we go. All right, one of the things we need to do is temporarily unclick that. And we grabbed the wrong object. Looking for is this one, beach water. Take that, put that guy up there so we can see what's up. All right, so and we need this to render as well. Renders in global space, or renders in global screen space. Okay, so the cool part is here is I can set a loop patunch like this. We've got a transition duration in, so I have a ½ second and an out. And then why don't we set that down to 2? Keep this on stay activated for the moment, just to make it easier to check out stuff. And then we need to change the size. Change it to 1. Okay, I set this on loop. So duration stays activated. Did I set this to loop? I did, didn't I? Yeah, it is loop. Oh, but that's animation. Should be, I don't know, should be fine. Let's see. I don't know. Watch and see if it actually comes back. And it does not. So what's the deal? Yeah, so regular looping animation does. It's not in the world. I can set up a trigger, a switch mode trigger. All right, so we'll take the switch mode. We're gonna add a little bit of script here. Nothing crazy special, just temporary. And then we're gonna do a countdown timer, should be fine. And I think, let's take a look. All right, so when it's viewed by camera, we'll hit this timer, Katoonch. I'll have a countdown, which is switch mode, so it means it can be triggered more than once, but we're gonna switch mode, but play to end. And then what? Okay. I think I could just do this. So every 2 seconds, 2 seconds, pop this again like that, let's come back. I think that might work. Let's see. Let's run this in preview. Yeah, I think. Oh yeah, because it's 4 seconds here, so here. Make it to 6 seconds for the moment. All right, come back over here. We'll take a look. Okay, now so did that first one pop or not? I mean, I can always add this separately if I need to, so. Try this instead. Send this over here. Oh, this is because I didn't put it to switch mode. Okay, so that actually might work. Make a copy of this bad boy here, like so. 0.1 seconds. This is the shortest amount of time we can actually put into it. And after that, we're gonna wait Let's try 4 seconds. All right, let's see here. So I think what happens is that because there's 2 count conditions put into the to the image object here, that is waiting for both countdown timers to be true. I wonder if I can do this with just a regular stopwatch timer. Gonna find out. Switch mode, but play to the end. And say 2 seconds, I think. Okay, so duration is 2 seconds. Just do that. So then why don't we set this to 2? And then do a thing where we come down here. After, oh, so that's going to be active, right? Oop, dang it. Is that going to work? I don't think that's going to work. I wonder. Okay, again. I'm just looking for like we don't really have loops in the engine with GameScript. So here, why don't we just make life a little easier for us for the moment? We do one of these, we just bring this back down here. We bring a countdown timer. There's a couple ways we can, I mean, I don't need to get too sophisticated here so that we can implement this. All right, so come down here, we got the countdown timer. And we'll call it after 3 seconds, maybe 4 seconds. I think 4 is probably right. Because we want 2 seconds on, 2 seconds off. Come back down and we'll pop the same thing. All right, so. Okay, so the good news is we've got a bit of a fade there. Now let's take a look. Now the problem is that we have sorting, as you can see here, right? One of the main problems is we've got essentially text objects render at the highest layer, and I don't think I can actually change that. I think rendering order, I think, is only the rendering order of the objects themselves, but let's just take a look. All right. So this is closest to the camera. This is farthest from the camera. All right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. This is half the fun when you're kind of working through problems or trying to figure out, is there a way you can achieve what you want within the limitations that you have within the engine? %99 sure that is correct, but let's just try this again anyways. Put those back to the near plane. Yeah. Okay. You want down, kitty? Yeah, good. Kitty's heavy anyways. All right. Okay, so yeah, so the text objects are not going to work, but those would give me the fade in out. Okay. Well, so the next question is, If I go back to the particle system, the problem I have is that I have popping. Yeah, I don't see a way out of this. All right, let's clean up after ourselves a little bit here, though, just so we don't have sprawl. Get rid of those. So I kind of need one of two things support-wise on the engine. I either need a text object in which I can set the rendering order of the text object within the scene to determine how it renders against the other layers. Oh, you know one thing I didn't check? Just double check. I mean, even if I render something in world, but we can double check. CS intro. Beach water. All right. So if I set this to world position, I set to picture. Pretty sure I don't have a choice here either. But let's take a look. Okay. So you can see how it's rendering on top of everything. I don't think I can render as below. Okay. So, but let's just double check. Manual layer positioning. Yeah. Okay. Let's check manual order. Yeah, that doesn't change anything at all. Because it's only only rendering order within the text object and an image rendering order. It's basically they're like HUD elements, right? So let's see if we could do that. Okay. Okay. So then what I'll do is I will write the developer and ask if we can get in the particle system the ability to have color over life have a new value, which is which would be so I kind of need a color over life to be for alpha. I need an in and an out. So yeah, let me take a look. Maybe I have something else in the particle system that gives us this. Let's take a look. Color on life is pretty much it, though, I think. First, emission rate, emission direction. Yeah. Okay. So I'll pause it there because I want to write the suggestion up for the developer. Okay, and we're back here. So I typed up a little message to Shmup Creator developer asking if it would be possible to add a fade in and fade out for particle life. Okay, but I also still thinking about the problem. One of the things I could do is I could take the image, take the wave image, and the base image. If I cut it out, I can have my artist do that, where we just constantly fade in the either or images on top of each other, kind of like a stack. And that could probably give us the same effect. So what I need to do is I'm going to need to do some tech art on this, but I think that'll work. All right, but first let's clean up after ourselves. So particles are fine, but I need to remove the image from pictures. Again, you don't want to have a bunch of textures that you don't plan on using in that particular capacity, just hanging out, because they get packed into your game, and then you're basically I've got a bunch of stuff that people aren't going to ever see, and it just makes your game executable bigger. Your data and your data, just go ahead. It makes your data bigger. So not really your executable, because your executable is your code. All right, so let's see. All right, so then we're in pictures. We get rid of that. I think this could work. And it's a pretty simple effect. We just want to alternate the waves. Okay. So then let's come back over. So we got two things going on here. So one is we have the water itself. I wonder if I can just be cheeky and flip it. How about we try that first? All right, so we'll take a version of this image, and we're just going to flip it good. Image. Image rotation. Flip canvas horizontal. All right, cute. And then we're gonna do this. So see this intro beach water. So this is in the master art assets. Okay. Oop. I'm just gonna call this one R for right side. Doesn't really matter because there's not much of a difference here. All right, so opening, save that. And then just for the sake of argument, why don't we just go back? I've already got the other base ones. Okay, cool. So do that. Okay, so then it's in the particle system. So going along this line of logic, water, right there. Come back over here, go back to assets, go to particles. Drop that bad boy in there, and we're going to rename the other one too, just to make it easier to just read the images and then understand what we're doing. Okay, so we have water L, water right. All right, come back to the engine. Let's convert the data. All right, all right, all right. Come on, we got this. And we have to update our particle, and then we need to add another particle system. Okay, so with the beach water, so we changed the image of the picture, which are the particle, so we know that's the case. Kind of nice that we can shove these really large images into particles too, by the way. The engine has a lot of flexible thinking, which I really appreciate. All right, particle, what was it, CS. CS. All right, so do right, duplicate this particle, make this one left, and we'll rename the top one to right. Okay. Because we're at right, and then we need to switch this one to left. Always a good idea to have consistency in the way you name all of your assets. Because inevitably, when you come back to look at this stuff again at some point, okay, so we when you come back to look at it, you want to be able to trace through your lines of thinking. So I should have double checked the particle setup. So we want to fade in and not out. So I need to change this now on both sides as well. Fade in. So we start from alpha 0, and then we end at 255, which is fully opaque. Okay. Now I think we're good. All right. Come back to our scene. We got a couple things here. What is up? Okay. I think it's here. So that's the Hollow Whispers background. That's right. We put the particle system up here, right? There we go. So we got... Nice that it remembered the name. And we're going to do one that's right. All right, cool. And we can do the same thing where we just set these at 0. Real quick though, let's add these to the proper layers. So one of the things I need to do is I need to make sure that I enforce the layers that each of them are rendered at. So in that case, so we got scene 3. Let's add a new layer. Scene 3, water left. Add one more. Water right. All right, cool. Then we're going to take water left. No surprise, we're going to put it on the left layer. And we're going to take water right. And you get this little icon here to show you, it shows which your selected asset is, or which layer it's on. So then you can just move it over here. That's why it jumps. Okay, so like it gives us that. That's a good sign. All right. Then let's just do one of these. Transformator. Ooh, nature is calling. I'll be back in just a minute. All right, and we're back. Interruptions. Okay, cool. So then we took these particle effects and we've zeroed them. Oh wait, almost zeroed them in. There we go. And so both of them are there. Okay, so what's the plan? What are we gonna do? So I moved both of these. So, okay, so nice thing about working with layers is you can turn off a lot of the noise. Just down to what you want. Because now I need to look at these objects again. Okay, so I got both of these particles. I got the left one and the right one for the waves. So then what do we need? We just want to do a temporary hookup here, right? So do one of these. Come down here. Let's get ourselves a gameplay object. Okay, so when viewed by the camera temporarily. So I think what we want to do so when it's viewed by this, close that for the moment, and then we'll have a let's have a countdown timer. Okay, and as we said here, the particle system that we've set, right? We want to have this. Oh, a little tired, friends. I'm gonna use some coffee. All right. So we have said that the life of the particle, so the min life and the max life for the single particle, which is the image, is 2 seconds here. Then we have one max particle. So we're gonna turn off instant. I guess we can turn it on to burst, maybe? Should just be one. All right, so then we'll just turn it to burst. I gotta do that for both now. Left, right. I just want to have one and have that life, because you can have lots of particles, but that's not what we're trying to do for the effect here. So we got this. No, that was it's. Oh, I know why. It's because the camera's moving because I don't have it set. We're good though. We're good. All right. So then we're gonna do this thing where after 2 seconds. Let's see. So we start the left wave, and then 2 seconds later, we come back to the right wave. All right, let's give that a try here. And then we want the transform, because we've already aligned these, back to 0, 0, 0. And they can pretty much stay on top of each other. Will that work? I think that'll work. Yeah, because it should die after that. All right. The worst we can do is try. Trial and error. All right. So we got that there. Both of those are in position. Let's move this over here just so it's easier for me to get to if I need to make some tweaks. All right. Let's turn all these back on. Okay, and let's just try it. Well, okay, so the good news is that it is animating, but it's still popping. So I gotta see what's going on with the popping. All right, but that's encouraging, right? And I think, is it here? Yeah, okay. Come back over here, and it could just be that I don't know. Let's take a look. And what did we decide to do first? I didn't take a look. So I got this. Okay. So, so we start with the left one first. All right. Let's go to the particle system. Come back up to left. Okay, it's back to color over lifetime. Ah, okay. Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, in order to not have the popping, what I need to do is I need to have the lifetime for the image be, I need it to be it'd be long. I don't need these. I need the particle to live a long time. Okay, so then why don't we just do this? Totally fine. So we're gonna set the min time to 99 seconds. I don't know if it can go wider. Oh, it can go 9999, but 99. Yeah, all right. 4 nines is fine. All right. We'll do a save there, and let's see how this looks. So my thinking isn't quite right here, right? So my thinking is, okay, first let's take a look. Okay, so that's the big image there. I need to check the layer that the other scene is on. There we go. Wide orbital shot. All right, so here's mountain pan, ship fire. What's the deal? Okay, is it scene 1 and 2? Nope. Scene 3, 1 and 2 background? Nope. Cerebus mountain pan. All right. Let's see, I think this big image. Oh, what is this? Oh, I got the weapon handle on it. I'm moving. I don't need weapons on these big images, but still. Okay, so it's not quite right. I need the beach scene. I have the wide orbital shot. What's that? Where's that at? Yeah. Okay, so I think Mountain pan. Turn this off. And then we'll come back here and take a look. All right, so there it is. It's hidden behind this other bad boy. And so what we did is good that I've also put these at 0, 0, 0. So this is also in the wide orbital shot, which is fine. Okay, but I needed to make sure I knew where this is at. Okay, so these are each of the layers down here. So this is the closest to the camera. This is furthest away from the camera. It's a 3D scene. Okay. And that means, and let's just rename this so I don't get lost again. Wide orbital shot and beach shot. Okay. And it's fine that they can be there, but that means that the waves need to be in front, so they are. So I think I can probably just move these down. I think this is totally fine. But that means that for each wave has to be a layer higher. Oh, I can put these in the same scene. Okay, I'm thinking too binary about this, right? So let's do this. All right, so scene 3. Water VFX. Just do that. We'll put them in the same layer. Oh, wait. I might be doing this because of another thing. 1 second. Let's take a look. Okay. So the problem I have is that I am unable to set the rendering order layer on a single layer between the particle systems. So that's why I need them to be manual layers. All right. So we go back here. And that means now I need to create a bunch of different layers in order to make sure that one renders on top of the other, and that you're always looking at the newest one fading up. That way we don't see any popping when the textures disappear. Okay, but this is cool. So we start with left, so we need to move this layer down because again, it's furthest away from the camera, I think. I don't know, let's take a look. That's easy enough. Let's set this back to 0, 0. Let's take a look and see what's what. Okay. Well, that's not working. What's going on? Let's see. Oh, no. View by the camera, yes. So is this cooking or what? So that immediately happens. I probably, okay, I need to get a little less hacky in my implementation. And I need to get it in there. Do I? I don't know, let's see. Okay. Okay, let's see. What am I doing? Try this again. All right, so I am not doing something right. Let me take a look. What's the deal? Flooba-dooba-doop. Ba-dooba-dooba-doop. Oh, maybe I actually let's just let it run for a sec. temporarily. Let's do one of these. Because I think what's happening is the effect is happening while the scene transition is happening. So I want to put a little timer just so I can take a look, because I just want to iterate through the effect itself. All right, so. Okay, so that should be there. Okay. Okay. And then we're gonna trigger the first left wave. We're gonna do this thing where after 2 seconds, that wave triggers, and then we come back down here to a new timer, and then 2 seconds later, we trigger the new wave. All right, cool. Now let's see if that works. Okay, let's wait for it. Oh, it could be that left is right and right is left, so I could be seeing that incorrectly. Man, my method is not working here. All right, so let's come back here. Let's take a look. We gotta verify a few things. Okay, let's just go and let's take a look at if left. We need a indicator on whether right is right and left is left. All right, so on the right side. Okay, let's just take a look. A beach intro. Okay. Take this, put that over here. Bring this down. Okay. So then what did we say? What was this one called again? Okay, so water right is what we called it. So I think what the problem is we were leading with our left, and left is the base image. So we need to lead with right, so we have that first. Okay, so that's fine. Then what we need to do is change this. All right, see you. All right, so then we need to go right first instead of left. So we're gonna that one, bring this down here, bring this up here, start there. All right, Q. Now we should see that, I think. I say, All right, let's see. What's the other problem here? Okay, left is what we call the base. Okay, so right should be fine. Okay. I think this goes up that way. All right, let's try that. You know, sometimes when you're messing with particles, they don't take the right rendering order. There's a bug in the engine. So whenever you're like, this should be working the way you expect, it's always a good idea to close your engine and reopen it. Okay. GG. Just gonna keep hitting my head against this. Okay. All right, let's see here. What is the problem? Let's take a look in preview. Okay. 1, 2. Oh, did I do that? What's this? Did I do that wrong? Okay, so left is the base layer. That's what we talked about. Okay, so maybe I did do that wrong. What's the deal? Oh, that's completely the wrong spot. I had the wrong connection point. Let's try this. Okay. So again, what is the problem? So can I, let's just double check. So we got the right. Let's check our particles. Oh, look at that. It doesn't even render here. Why? Intro, right? Size. Yes. Is it because, oh, maybe that's why. Maybe because I set the particle life so long that it's actually lerping very slowly from 0 to 1. Okay, so let's come back to 2. Which makes sense if that's how it's set up. Okay. There we go. Okay. But we're making progress. Making progress. Learning little things along the way. Happy little progress. All right. So we'll align these at the same spot. Now let's take a look how this looks. Okay. So I still have the pop, and I think the pop is it's just the texture is the particle dying, right? We're gonna experiment. Let's experiment a little bit, shall we? Set this to 10. Emission count 4. I just want to see what it'll do. May not be great, but you know what? It's easy enough to change. Set that to instance 4. What am I doing? Making mistakes. All right. Set this to constant, just to double check. Infinite. All right. All right. Take a look at this. So the particles are emitting. So this is set to stay activated. Why don't we close this? Wasn't quite what I had in mind. Set these back to burst, because we do need the particles to die at some point. Well, I mean, that's an effect. But it's just that popping. I mean, it's not huge. Now, let's explore that a little bit. Go into the particle system. And change this to repeat delay min max to 1. Just see what this looks like. Huh. Oh, that's trippy. All right, well, we'll take a look at this. Is it infinite, constant, infinite? And let's try something small. So these don't live as long. Who knows? Maybe we get a weird shutter effect. 0.25. Now, the problem I have I got lots of problems. Let's see. Problem I'm having here is why don't we take the life down to these as well? Just see. A little experimentation. Okay, it's too flickery. Doesn't quite work the way I want it to. So let's go back to 2. We'll go back to plan A. See if we can get that. All right. 2 seconds. Okay. So, and I don't really need more than 1. Let's just try that. Let's go back to burst. Mission count 1. 1. Okay, let's take a look at this. Okay, let's take a look. I think we're getting more than 1 there. Burst 1. 1. Only get one image rendered. 1 second. Take a look. I mean, we're kind of getting there. So, okay, let's come back to what we thought our plan was. Our plan was going to be in the layer editor. We want the fade in. So let's look at particles real quick. The problem is the fade in. Okay, so back to plan A. Okay, or plan 76 at this point. All right, let's set this to 3 seconds. I don't think it matters that much because what we want to do is we want to basically have one image render in over the top. And always have a new one rendering in after that. And since it's fading in, theoretically, we shouldn't see the image underneath pop out. Okay, let me double check this. So check the link if you don't want to change the color during its life. Okay, we definitely want to animate the alpha channel. So okay, so why don't we come in here? Why don't we create a couple more layers? Okay, that gives us a little bit more control. This layer up. All right, so then we're just going to alternate the left and rights, right? So here. Here. All right, and then I'm going to copy this layer name and come over here. Here. And this will give us, I mean, if it's about 2 seconds, this gives us about 20 or 30 seconds. We can always add more layers. There is a cap, but we possibly could reuse the layers too because it should be enough to alternate through. So we're just going to do this brute force for the moment. Okay. All right, so we should have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Apparently I can't count. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So then we can delete this one. Okay. And then what we need to do is, since we're trying to control the layering, the ordering specifically, we are going to take these fine beasts. All right, so we have 6 altogether. So that's 3 copies, right? So 2, 3. So we're copying 2 at a time here. And do this up here. Okay. And bring these over here first. Oh, we always got to get, you only have one undo step in the engine, so make sure I did it again. And the back, I don't know if I can actually shift click through those. Oh. All right, what's the deal? What is the problem here? Hello. Oh, I was letting the particle emitter fool me a bit. All right. Of course, it's an image. I thought I was grabbing the background image. All right. What we're gonna do, we're gonna get our logic over here. Bring this up. Okay. So just to double check, we are leading with the left first, right? Because we want to alternate. Oh no, we're leading with the right. So right because left is base. Okay. So what we want to do is we're just going to basically alternate the same things. 4, 6. Okay. Then, so you said right first, right? So there's a right. There's a right. Lefts will alternate down like this. All right. Now, let's link these in this way, like this way, so it'll turn on one of these each time between every 2 seconds. All right. That one becomes that. That one becomes that. So forth. And yada body. Okay, cool. Now, let's get these all am I making any mistakes? That's always the question. The answer is probably yes. All right. Zero all these out because we want them to be exactly on top of each other. Oh, and we also need to assign, before we do that, we have to assign each of the effects to their specific layers. All right. So, yeah, okay. And so we want to start from the furthest out and then layer them up closer to the camera. All right. So, which means, so water left is down here. Water right is there. Okay, cool. And then we want to do this. Okay. So water left. So right, left, right. Okay. This one should be on this layer. So right, left. Okay, so we made a mistake. Okay. Because we lead with our right. So it becomes this. Lead with our right. So right, left, left. What? Whoa, that's weird. Completely wrong. All right. Wow. Totally messed that up. Okay. Right, left, right. Left. All right. So right, left, right. That is correct, right? Let me just double check. Now I'm all confused-lated. Okay, so right is the starting. Yeah, okay, so right is right. And left, then right. Okay. Right, left, right, left. Okay. Now back to where we're at. Okay. So right, left, right. We're kind of going in the reverse order here. So add selection of current layer. Ooch. And then left. Right. Ooch. And then left. All right. Ooch. All right. Q. All right. All right. Then we reconnect these. Okay. Feeling pretty good about that. All right. Now we can take each of these, zero them out, so they're all on top of each other. Glad we double checked our work there beforehand, otherwise we had to pull it all apart. And that's never super fun. All right. Did a quick call, called my pops, see how he was doing. Been meaning to call him back for a couple days. And he's doing all right. He's 70 years old. He discovered that he likes shopping at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning because there aren't as many people out like for the grocery store. I guess that works. Okay. I think this is our first chance. Let's give it a try. Oh, still got a pop. Well, it's a bit of a mess. It's a bit of a mess. But we have more control over each of the pieces, so that's good. Okay. Okay, things that we've learned. This is probably because I'm using the base image, I wonder. All right, why don't we try to slow down the fade? Maybe that's a part of it. So go back into the particles. So life min max. Let's try something like 6. Just to double the time. It's going to take longer for the waves to fade in on top of each other, but there could be a thing. Give this a try. I mean, it creates a little bit of noise. You know, it's a big scene. We're also not looking to create like a you know, that's it basically is using 2 frames, right? So didn't quite work the way I wanted. All right, let's try this. Why don't we try? So no color over time. Just give that a try. I don't think that's gonna work the way I expect. Okay. Definitely does not. Okay, which is fine. All right. So we still have transparency at... Careful, I don't mess the wrong ones up. Those are my light rays. Okay. Let's try it the other way again real quick. 255. And we'll set the fade out to 0. 255. Fade out to 0. Really? Wait a minute. 255. 255. That feels a little bit suspicious. All right, let's take a look at it. So now these should just pop right in and then fade out. Whoa, that would be them popping in. It's interesting, based on the fades, we get different sort of in between frames, which is kind of interesting. Okay. So, but let's try this real quick. So if we don't give it a full opacity, maybe it fades into it. I mean, we're getting there. Not quite what I envisioned. You know, sometimes that's art. I want to try and change this to something really small. I want to see what it looks like if we speed up, or if we have shorter frames. Shorter particle life. Whoa. You can see it kind of gets glitchy there. Interesting. Change the duration back to that. And why don't we come back to, let's experiment with this again. Do 5, do constant, we do infinite. Let's do repeat, set to repeat delay min max. We'll set it down to 5.5. Emission rate, 1 should be fine. Just do the same thing. Constant, infinite, 0.5. Just see how that works. I mean, it's a bit of a flip book. So there's that side of it. Okay, let's set it back to constant. Maybe let's change the particles to 3 because we're not killing them as fast. That might be a thing. Wait a minute. Particles to 5. It's wrong. The emission rate. Let's try emission 1 at a time. So max is fine. I don't know, let's try 2. Double frames a little bit. Interesting. I'm gonna come back to particle life. I don't know. Get 6 again. Make it 3. Exactly what I thought. Okay, interesting. So it's not quite as poppy, which is neat. Let's change it to 2 seconds. Just iterate and see how it feels. I mean, for the most part, it's like a artistic interpretation, right? Like we're not doing simulated waves here. Okay, it's not quite what I had in mind. Okay. Leave it at 2 there, but let's come back to, on the particle side of things, let's go back to emission rate of 1. Back to a burst. Burst, emission rate 1. Let's give this a try. All right, let's come back here and take a look at our setup. Okay, so they all are set on top of each other, which is good. Okay. Interesting. So let's see. I don't know if it still takes the delay or not, so I want to turn that off and give it a second. Set back to constant. Infinite. Infinite. Let's get a feeling for this. That's not all that bad. It gives you a sense of the waves, which is kind of neat. You can see, you know, in the main kind of break wave here, like the bigger ones, but also you have like a couple of the sort of beach lines, the waves for the lines that come in. It's not perfect, but you know, again, artistic interpretation. You know, I think I can live with that. Okay, so then, in order to, let's take the wave logic we have, we need to bring it down here and find out where we're at in the scene. All right, so DBK transformation, is that there? So we started this pretty early in the scene, right? So we're on scene 3 here. And then what happens? So scene 3. So this is all the VO. Let's do one of these, take one of these, take one of these, bring this over here so we have a hint for ourselves. Wave animation. Animation. ATION. All right. Bring this up here. And we need to trigger this. Need to trigger this off of. Let's try it here. Let's try it there. Just see. Do a save. It's a little janky, but we're not getting much better out of the engine given the current situation, so. Let's watch this all the way through. Yeah. We're looking to see if there's anything. Everything should be sorting correctly in the environment, so. Same thing with the fade. I think the fade down should be fine. All right, we did a thing. That was pretty good. All right, let's come back and take a look. note here. Waves. You can ship what we have here. It's not perfect, but due to the engine, we're not going to get much better due to only being able to fade in or out, but both fade in and out with the particle system. Particle system. All right, cool. Take a quick look. All right. So now let's take a look again. So I think we are caught up now with our assets. So yeah. And yep. Okay. Okay. So then let's take a look here. Okay, let's take we'll make a copy of this. Open Photon Shops. Photoshop. We've got a meeting with our lead artist, Dimitri, in the morning, so that'll be fun. And it's good that I did these turnarounds tonight. Okay. New layer. Hello. Okay. Let's go to our shape object. Little check mark. Okay. Okay. So this is good. And I like this here with the arms, but I kind of like how it's all overlaid here. So take a look. Whatever. This is good. I think I like this. I like the arms. I like the arms being cut out, a little less showing DBK. This feels pretty good. Yeah, this feels good. I like that. Okay. Let's do a little remix. Boom. Mix those elements together. I think that'll give a good conveyance for DBK, for Larkin speaking, but also having some DBK presence. Take this, move the comment just to make it nice. It's easier seen there. Copy this image address. Okay. Larkin. enjoy seeing the visual exploration. Let's mix together the check marks. Okay. There are the elements that I really like from here. All right, cool. Got that in there now. Okay. Cool. So we did a nice round of feedback. That was a few days in the making for sure. Excited about that. It was nice. He gave it to me in he gave it to me on PNG, so I could cut this out and then put them into the dialogue. But I don't think I need to do that at this point to see it in engine. Okay. I think that's it for that. Sweet. All right. So then I want to come back over and take a look at my own list of cutscene tasks. Ooh, I'm a tired guy. Becoming a tired guy. All right. So I'm doing intro cutscene. All right. Post VFX Glow and Sun Scene 3. Have not done that. Shadows for DBK. Have not done that yet either. Tiny bit of time before DBK transition to finish the transition voice line. I did that. Cockpit shot. Add blinking lights in the interpretation panel. I have not, but I think I can definitely do that. Scene waves for mist for scene 3. Yeah, so we just did the beach waves. I want to add the vortex swirl, fire bats. Yep, we can do that. Cockpit shot, end with minor zoom in on the mountain entrance. Okay, we can do that. I think we can do that. One last thing. Okay. So this is on the pan in shot. The mountain pan shot. Mountain pans. All right. So unhook this. Bring this down here. So we just reconnect scene 2 and scene 3. All right. So then we got this. So basically, the thinking was that when we get to the end of the pan shot, that we could zoom in a little bit more towards the mouth of Srivis Mountain to kind of accentuate that that's what we're focused on. So we got this on a waypoint. There we go. You know, and at the very least, okay, first of all, let's make sure we can start the scene correctly. Okay, so it's this guy here when viewed by the camera. Start scene 2. All right, cool. And click on the mountain shot there. We're on waypoint 2. Let's open the transform editor. Why don't we simply change the depth order? Minus 200. Just give it a shot. Just see what's what. Did I? What did I do? What did I diddly do? All right. Oh. Viewed by camera. Yes. Yes. Oh, that's because we still have it connected to the output from the scene 1. All right. The idea is to have, oh, whoa. No, that's interesting. That's not what I want though. Okay, so let's come back over here. So that was... Okay, so a minus number gave us a pullback from the camera. And I think what we want to do is we want to have one more waypoint. And then we don't want to have it do any rotation. So we're going to turn off the path tangent. So I thought we were. Weird. Oh, maybe it's because from here too. There we go. Okay, and then let's take a look at the transform. So minus 1.2, I think this is, yeah, this is it. So we'll go back one. I don't want it to move around on the diagonal. Come back to this. Did something wrong. Maybe, okay. Oh yeah, okay. The Z is the direction. Spatial math, I tell you, man. All right, so that is correct. Now we take this guy and then let's give it a positive 200. Just give that a try. Pan and shot, pan and shot, pan and shot, pan, pan, pan. All right, here we go. Okay. Let's try that. I want to see if we can focus a bit more in on the mountain mouth. Well, I can try it. I can share you. See what that does, and then stop and iterate. It's a fiddly process. Okay. Let's try something like this. And here we go. Gotta stay focused. I don't miss it. Okay. All right, let's do something extreme. How waypoints transition through the world's a whole other thing. So how the camera moves on a, or actually removing the background image in this case and not the camera. So how it moves in relation to the camera is a whole other story. So we'll do something extreme so I can see how much that changes where our target zoom in is. Didn't seem to change much. I might be going in the wrong direction. Maybe I need to go the other way. Here we go. Come on, come on, no whammies. Okay, so now we're basically, oh, that's kind of neat. Huh. So moving it up that way makes the image go up. So let's try this. It's definitely like a Franken experiment. Which sometimes can be rough when you're trying to like get a very specific thing to happen. Okay, so there. Okay. 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 So let's come back to a few of our assumptions. 1, is that. 2, let's try that. Not 40. Let's try 500. Gotta try. Fiddly D's. I need some water. I need some coffee. I need all the things. Okay. All right, that's not too bad. I don't think I can actually zoom in much further. Before it breaks through the camera, but we'll see. What's up, Srivas's butt? Look at that mountain butt. Who's got some mountain butt? Srivas does. I do like it kind of shows the beach just a tiny bit. Even though it's not fully centered on flying towards the mouth, but it kind of visually links the scenes together a little bit more, which is nice. I like it. I like it. And we'll just, you know, it's magnified zoom. So the fact that the next shot starts further back is another story, but I'll live with that. All right. Cool. Okay. Well, that was quite the dev stream. We had quite a bit done. I think what I'll do is I'll do one recording of the cutscene so everyone can see what it is in its entirety with the new round of changes. To everyone that's been out there following along and hanging out and just being part of the community and the game, and you know, I just want to say thank you. It really does mean a lot. We will see you all next time. Thanks, everybody.